Welcome to the training site for DERA's environmental farming scheme. This training is part of a series relating to capital items. Please note that capital items may be referred to as non-productive investments or NPIs. For the training, you will need to watch this video, and this is followed by a number of questions which you must answer. There are further details about the capital items on the Environmental Farming Scheme section of the DERA website. This particular training is for the capital item Permanent Electric Fencing, including Energizer. This is an additional capital item, which means it is not available on its own, but must be applied for in conjunction with an EFS option. The training module will cover a number of aspects, including the aim of the investment, the amount that is to be completed, and then certain things that you must do, and an outline of the specification for the scheme. It gives an idea of the type of checks that DERA will carry out as part of their responsibility, and then finishes by giving you the payment rates. Permanent electric fencing is available to EFS wider participants as an additional capital item in association with the creation of tree enhanced boundaries. It is only available to EFS higher level participants if it is included in the site-specific remedial management plan. The aim of the investment is to protect lengths of newly created creation of tree enhanced boundary option, and for the higher level it is to maintain and enhance the biodiversity value of the EFS higher site where it has been included as part of the site-specific remedial management plan. In terms of the amount that is to be completed, the amount that is detailed in the agreement is the amount that must be done. There is a minimum of 1 metre, and the overall maximum will be as per the maximum agreement value. This capital item is established in year 1 and must be retained and maintained in the same area for the duration of the agreement. You must adhere to the scheme requirements and controls and to the specifications as detailed in the capital item information sheet. These are summarised here in this slide. You must have the work completed by the end of year 1 of the agreement. You must erect the claimed length in the correct location in the field or fields where it is approved. It must be stock proof and erected to the specification provided, and also field records must be kept detailing the location, the length and the date it was erected. Regarding the specification, the permanent electric fencing must be to the specification provided in the capital item information sheet. This specification is summarised in the next few slides. All the remnant fence material must be removed. New material only must be used. A minimum of 4 strands of 12 gauge 2.5mm high tensile wire is required, and the fence must be at least 1.2 meters from the ground to the top wire. Further aspects of the specification are that straining posts must be equivalent in strength and durability to at least 125mm top diameter round timber. Straining posts must also be at centres not exceeding 150 meters apart, or at each change in direction, or each change in gradient. Struts must be at least 75mm top diameter round timber. Intermediate posts must be at least 75mm top diameter round timber and at centres not exceeding 5 meters. All posts must be free of bark, and all posts must have a potential minimum 15-year life clearly indicated on the manufacturer's literature. This diagram illustrates the specification for the fence. Please note the required overall height of 1.2 meters and also the required strengths for strainers, struts and posts. The energiser must have a minimum output of 2 joules and comply with British standards. The terminal insulators must be heavy duty and the equipment must be installed as detailed in the manufacturer's instructions and associated standards. If you're working as part of the higher level agreement, the permanent electric fencing must be erected and maintained at the required location as detailed in the site-specific remedial management plan. As indicated, it is necessary to keep field records. The records are kept field by field and also they need to be kept each year for any works undertaken. You may wish to use the format shown here, which is available on the DERA website, or you may prefer to use your own format to keep the required records. Please note that there is a separate training module on record keeping which will give you some help with this aspect of the scheme. DERA will undertake certain checks to verify that the works proposed and paid for have been completed and are to the required standard. The range of checks for this capital item will be based on the requirements and controls detailed in the information sheet. Some of these checks include, firstly, office-based administrative checks. Secondly, they can include technologically based checks, such as control with remote sensing. And thirdly, they can be on-site checks, such as rapid field visits or on-the-spot checks. Some of the checks that may be carried out for this investment are summarised in the next few slides. DERA will check that the work is completed by the end of year 1 of the agreement. They will check that the claimed length is erected in the correct location in the field or fields where it has been approved. They'll check that new material is used and that the remnant fence has been removed initially. They'll also check that the new fence is stock-proof and erected to the specification provided, and that field records are kept including location, length and date or dates of the erection. Regarding payment rate, this option is paid at £5 per metre, and this payment is made in year 1 of the agreement. This is now the final slide of this training module, and there are certain things that you should do next. You now must complete the questions for this capital item, which are on the site below the video. It's essential that you do this so as to register that your training on this capital item is complete. You should also read the information sheet that relates to this capital item, and this is available on the lesson site and also on the EFS section of the DERA website. And finally, if you have further options or capital items in your agreement, you can take the training for them after you have completed the questions.